Hello, great people. It is currently Sunday, April 6th, 2025. Well, this is the 24 hours after the protest. I guess the protest might be still going on at this moment in time. Seen a few videos directly on TikTok talking about the protest and, just one to maybe two Trump supporters can't really say much about it, so they're just making fun of a peaceful protest, which doesn't even make any type of sense. Like, you have nothing else to talk about, so you're like, all right, let me just make fun of this peaceful protest. A little bit crazy, a little bit weird. But the thing that I noticed is that while a lot of people wanted to talk about the protest, I didn't see people talk about the instances of which you had individuals, Caucasian men, who were in their vehicles, decided to stop in the streets during these protests and decide to confront the protesters. Here's at least one of those videos. Yo, what's up, New Era? What is up? What is up? What is up?
Go, Cody!
Come on!
Get out of my truck!
Look at that. Cody Wayne, why would you do this? Why would you do this, sir? Mm.
Don't touch my car!
Mm.
Baby, stop! Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! You shouldn't have gone in the middle of the road! You shouldn't have gone in the middle of the road!
Look at that. So we got this great young Caucasian male here. I would have thought he was probably in his 40s. They said he's 29. That's a little bit. Wait. They said arrest age 29, current age is 36. A little bit weird. Anyways, this man obviously has some problems here. This is not his first time being accosting people, being arrested. And you got this brave man during this protest deciding to get out of his vehicle and go directly in front of people. Hey, you guys don't be protesting out here. Hey, I don't like what you guys are protesting. The reason I love this so much is because I know if black people were front and center like we normally are for protests, this situation would have been 100 times worse. The interesting thing is the fact that a lot of these people directly out here did not have to face anything dealing with dogs. They didn't have to face tear gas. They didn't have to face any of the normalcy that black people would normally have to deal with protests. We've had peaceful protests and we've always been met with police. Even the protest that I went to some years back, we were met literally with at least about 3, if not 4 rows of police. And they all had their shields, they had their helmets. And I'm like, so hold on. So I'm like, so we've been walking. Everybody was peaceful. Nobody was tearing up. And again, I was live streaming during that time, right? Live streaming and showing everything. At no point in time was anybody tearing anything up. Nobody was throwing anything at cars or whatnot, or whatever. You had the chance, you had people protesting, you had other people just decide to join in because it was like, oh, everybody else is doing it. So let me just be a part of this. And they were just meeting up and talking with their friends, doing stuff like that. Again, everything was sound, everything was calm, and we were still met with police. Again, like I said, a lot of people, especially white people, don't want to admit that these things have to do with race, but they do. As a person that has been a part of at least a protest before, especially during the moment where everybody in the whole world was paying attention and listening, and I was live streaming again during that time, there was no reason for us to be met with police at all. There really wasn't. But this is what they decided to sit up there and do. But notice that you have seas of white folks directly out there. Where are the rows of cops? Where's the CIA, the FBI? Where's the National Guard? Where's the Army? Right? It's crazy work. It's diabolical. But let's continue. Now I had to blur this out because he actually pulled out an assault rifle. And that's why the white women started leaving. Is up. You got a gun? We're out of here. It's not even worth all that.
Get out of here! Deplatform fascists! Deplatform fascists! Deplatform fascists! Deplatform fascists! Deplatform fascists!
So I just want people to notice a theme here that seemingly you have these Caucasian individuals in these trucks. And seemingly with these trucks and these Caucasian men, there's always a Caucasian woman filming. Notice how the men are always getting out of the truck and the women are filming. That leads me to think that they're instigating, right? They're already filming, which leads me to think that they know that they're going to cause something and they want to further try to, prove a point. And they also lead to the disruption because in both instances, they're like, oh, you guys are blocking the streets. When I watch these protests, people were actually on the sidewalks. So I'm like, why would you, as a driver in a vehicle, need to get out of your car to confront protesters? Like, that don't even make any type of sense. That literally makes no type of sense. It's almost as if you're trying to cause confrontation. And this is the main thing that I've tried to showcase before, because you got a lot of these individuals out here, Caucasian, that will go to these protests and they will decide to get out of their car or antagonize or speak from their vehicle. They'll use racial slurs or different things to antagonize people, already knowing that this is a situation that people are amped about. They'll throw a Molotov directly in there and boom. Here's the whole thing of quote unquote, oh, look at these blacks being violent during these protests, but nobody wants to now, try to find out what happened before the protesters, quote unquote, got violent or, got crazed or chaotic, right? At that moment in time, white people are like, oh, we don't even really care. Nothing is really, that serious. But yet you got this white dude that got out of his car, confronted protesters, into a confrontation, a physical confrontation. One of them decided to protect themselves, and he went back to the car as a grown, obese man that he is and grabbed an assault rifle and came towards a group of unarmed protesters. Explain that to me. Explain that one to me. Like I said before, a lot of white people don't got an answer, because you can't say that race has anything to do with it because everybody's white. So what do you got? Silence. That's what you got. Complete and utter silence. It's crazy work. It's diabolical, but I love it. But matter of fact, there's a woman out here that had a very good opinion dealing with the protest. Let me see if I can actually pull that video up. I actually found the video before I went live. Here we go. Let me put that up here.
A movie. Let me just point out, of all of the over 1,200 protests we done seen, right? They're saying over a few million people have participated in protests across the nation. Let me just say that out of all of these protests, I have not seen not one person getting tear gassed. I have not
Mm-hmm.
seen anybody getting womp womp with the batons. I
Yep.
have not seen any lines of the SWAT team lined up approaching people that are marching the streets. As a matter of fact, I heard that in Dallas, the police shut
What's
down
up,
the
guys?
roads to allow the people to walk over there where the JFK incident happened, the grassy knoll and the depository. They shut down the streets to allow the protests to continue, to allow the people to walk.
Wow, look at that. Just imagine that. The police were helping the protesters. The police actually closed down some roads and streets so that the protesters could continue walking. What? I've never heard of such a thing. It's usually if black people are doing it, it's like, oh, we're just, walking any and everywhere. We're just doing whatever it is that we want to do. And the police have to be there to stop us, to barricade us in because we're animals. Oh, right. But when white people do it, oh, the police are like, oh, you guys are protesting? You disagree with America? No problem, guys. Hey, guys, we need about 20 cops to go along the blocks in the road, close off these blocks and these roads so these nice, beautiful protesters can protest and use their rights to speak. Right? Crazy work.
On down them roads. So when you hear black people saying the ones who decided to protest in other ways, like protesting by not being on the front lines, remember that this is why.
Yep.
Had it not
100%.
been majority white people marching, would that have still been the outcome? Like, serious question. And don't lie, you know the answer. And this is why we said that this wasn't for us. It is okay that some people went. Okay, that's fine. But it is great that majority of us stayed home and watched TV. While simultaneously having already been doing protesting through other avenues. Because y'all act like marching is the only way to protest.
Facts.
Just remember, this is why the outcome would have been very different. And we all know it. And if we're being real, it's not our jobs. It is not our jobs to dismantle white Christian nationalism and white supremacy. We didn't create it. We did not create it. We don't benefit from it. So it's not our jobs to dismantle. It has to be dismantled from within by the very people that created it and benefit from it inherently. That's them same people marching, as you should. I'm so happy y'all showed the scope while we sat down.
Yep. Yep. I'm very happy about that too. And I hope the exact same thing happens for a very long time. We will sit this all out and you guys will go directly up and fix the problem of which you created. Because again, we didn't have nothing to do with this. No matter how people want to try to skew the narrative, no matter how people want to try to bring up, oh, but the blacks overwhelmingly sat up there and voted for Trump in the Republican Party. And no. Don't even try to no. Nah. Don't even try to do that here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. Like I said before, there's situations that some people need to fix, and there are situations that others need to fix. This is one of those many great situations that others need to sit up there and fix. Others need to fix them. Because, like I said before, if white people protest, nothing's going to sit up there and happen to you guys. At most, let me just go back to this video here where you had this obese man deciding to, I was hoping to actually get a greater look at his face. But the guy that you see in the middle of the road in the darker colored clothes leaning forward in this obesity and mass, he was the one that ended up going back to his vehicle and getting an assault rifle. Now, just imagine what would have happened if that was a group of black people that he was coming to with that assault rifle. I'm pretty sure he would have aimed that assault rifle. I'm pretty sure said assault rifle would have went off. Yeah. It's a very, just per this one example, of this white guy going to get an assault rifle from his car. This is the very reason that black people need to stay away from these types of protests because they are there and they are waiting. He didn't decide to, and I want to make sure to state, he made sure to keep that assault rifle directed downwards at the whole time. I promise you, if those were black protesters, he would have had that up at least towards waist point while looking at the crowd, while waving said assault rifle back and forth. And you know the craziest thing about this incident of this man bringing an assault rifle directly out of his vehicle? I didn't see the police swarm him. I didn't see the police nowhere in the area when he brought out an assault rifle towards unarmed individuals, unarmed Americans. Notice that. Why is it that the media, Fox News and everybody else doesn't want to highlight this? They don't want to make this as a spectacle. It's amazing. It's amazing how dead silent they are. Every single news media outlet that I've seen. Matter of fact, even on social media, the silence is deafening because I'm like, this is a very dangerous individual. For him to literally cause himself to be in a physical altercation with people who are protesting on the sidewalk, on the curb, decided to get out of his vehicle, which fully protects him. Those protesters can't get into his car. He can easily lock that car, right? Nobody's hammering the car. Nobody's beating it with bricks, whatnot, or whatever. Even if they were, you don't get out of your vehicle. Now you're endangering yourself. You were in a protected case. Now you're getting out to be unprotected. To do what? To do what? But again, none of those things were happening. But he decided to go into the protesters, wanted to get into their face, point, maybe possibly spat on somebody, threw a shove or a hand, and somebody fought back, rightfully so, because you did something that you weren't supposed to do. But because you could not properly handle what it is that you caused, you went into your car and got a weapon. White people, to anybody white directly out there listening, this is what black people be talking about. How it is that a lot of the white folks out there, when it comes to these protests, will instigate. They will cause a lot of problems and issues. And then magically, you guys want to start filming when the optics are that you are just innocent. You don't know what's happening, and that you're just getting accosted by all of these horrible black people. Oh my God, they're just so violent. Look at the statistics out here. Look at how they're treating the whites. Look at this anti-whiteisms out here. What is all this hate against the whites? But notice how that same victim work can't work in this instance. Look at that. And look at when it deals with the optics, somebody actually filmed the whole thing. I promise you, his wife didn't film everything that was said and everything that happened. She only filmed very specific points, which makes them look good. Notice those optics. Shout out to Matt Damon. He said that everything in front of the camera can change except for who's behind it, who's directing it, who has the point of view, which is white. Shout out to Matt Damon for being a white man and being honest. That the only optics, the only point of view that actually matters, the only storytelling that matters is white. Shout out to Matt Damon. Crazy work. Crazy work. Diabolical in nature.
Kadarius.
So now I want to go to a little bit of a different optics. You got this Memphis 17-year-old teen who went viral for unclogging a drain, right? That was holding several feet of water, right? It was making sure that people were almost incapable of moving, from their homes, from the area that they were in. And I want to note this 17-year-old did something that not even the city really wanted to do. And that's crazy work. So let's take a look.
Smith.
Why did you decide to do that?
Because my friends and family and my mama was also out here, and she had to get back to the house, so I was like, when nobody else doing it.
With tenants trapped by several feet of water, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water didn't respond to their request.
He was out there in his shorts and sandals, and he was getting the water up. Right here. It was right here.
As the water grew taller on Thursday, Kadarius showed us what he had to work through.
It was like right here.
Wow.
Yep, and it went all the way to right there and all the way over here.
So all the way up to these bricks over here?
Yeah, all the way up, probably like to about this much left for the brick.
At one point, after realizing his rake wasn't working, he bent down and used his hands to clear the drain.
The maintenance lady, she came, I say probably like an hour after me halfway doing it and the other guys helping me. She ended up coming through here to help, man.
That's dope. And I just want to sit up there and highlight the fact that at the points and times that we have fields of young teens like him that do things like this within the community every single day, those stories tend not to really get highlighted, right? This was pretty much the local news that decided to highlight this. Fox News ain't going to highlight this, right? These national they're not going to sit up there and do this and put stories like this on rotation. Now, if somebody like him inevitably committed a horrible act or a crime, oh yeah, they'll make sure to put his face directly out there. They'll show you the hair texture, they'll show you the face, they'll make sure to position you with a picture of him throwing up the middle finger, holding a replica weapon, all of this other type of stuff. They will make sure to sell you those optics because that's what sells. They don't really show you optics like this of the younger generation because this is not what sells. Matter of fact, to further prove my point, let me show you the optics of the younger generation that actually sells. Let me show you something that the white mainstream media would love to put up. I'm also going to have my comments about it too, but I just want to prove a point. This is in a McDonald's.
Bro, I just want my
Bring the knife.
To be honest, what is nigga time?
Oh, what the
Nigga's trying to think drag.
That's for us, bro. That's for us.
I want to know this is the younger generation. So notice a comparison, right? Something like that with those optics, where it shows a multitude of the younger generation directly out there. I guess a few to how many ever were in some type of an engagement, and they were pretty much jacking up the store, right? None of the younger generation was trying to stop the other person from doing this, that, and the third. It was all just a whole bunch of followers, right? And just allowing things to happen. It's the internet generation. So, oh, let me pull out my camera. Let me start doing this versus being active and trying to stop this before it gets worse. Again, we're at that point in time in society where this is acceptable, again, amongst groups. So I just want to put out, I'm not advocating for behaviors like this. I am not at all. The main thing that I'm stating is that if it comes to mainstream media, they will easily give you situations such as that and showcase it, right? Having, showing groups of Black people, doing this and that versus going back to this one,
Smith.
when you got the 17-year-old who is clear cut doing something for the community, being beneficial, doing things of that nature. You see his mother right by his side. She is proud I'm pretty sure her son is directly on the news. He did some, good within the community. I'm pretty sure she is very proud. And the kid, he seems, like a very simple, humble, quiet type of kid. I'm sorry, I actually don't got the camera angle directly on him. But yeah, he seems like a very humble, quiet type of kid. Like he ain't really doing nothing. Like he might be like a gamer, some stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. Right? Like I said, that's dope. I really wish more of this would actually get highlighted, so that a lot of the kids out here would actually understand that you don't have to fly into ignorance in order to get, some type of attention, because a lot of these kids are looking for attention that they're not getting directly at home. But the other aspect of that is the fact that a lot of these kids are not being fully raised by their parents, because these kids have too many adults that want to be their friends, want to be their best friends. They don't want to be in a house. You have a lot of parents out here that feel like their children ruin their lives. They feel like their children stop their lives. Right. So they're like, you can sit up and raise yourself. I'm going to sit up there and do me. I didn't raise you to the best of your abilities. You're now like 12 or 13. You grown and, figure out some stuff. I'm going to go out there and do XYZ. Right. Like I said, it's crazy work. 100% crazy work. But let's continue.
Aisha Howard had a baby by Anthony Edwards out of spite and proceeds to file for child support and submits text messages to the court that you could not pay me to get that information out of me. When are we going to learn, y'all? I got secondhand embarrassment. So apparently Aisha is trying to get child support from Anthony Edwards in the state of California. And she submitted text messages about how she had to text him that she was pregnant because he was dodging her after, they did what they did. He was not trying to have nothing to do with this girl. And she texted him, "I'm pregnant." And he said, "Okay, like crazy. That man was not trying to have it. She was like, "Oh no, like you need to learn a lesson." He's like, "I'm not trying to learn a lesson." She texted him and said, "Do you hate me?" And he said, Yeah, I do. This is information you could not pay to get out of me. Ma'am, you are 38 years old. Anthony Edwards is 23 years old. At a certain point, are we not embarrassed? I don't understand. Like, I'm 24 years old, and I'm looking at this woman like, you're an elder of mine. Why are y'all moving like this? We're supposed to be looking at y'all as y'all done been through it, mature, and y'all know how to handle business. And I'm looking at y'all like, dang, like something isn't right up here. I know a lot of these girls are trying to get these NBA players to secure a bag, but at a certain point, is no one embarrassed?
She's 100% right. Now, as you can clearly see, I made sure to put the image right below so that nobody will be confused on what the topic specifically is. So you got the basketball player to the left, and you have the woman that ended up being pregnant because of unprotected relations to the right. And it's crazy to me that in court documents, the dude was literally honest. You showcase text message. You already knew from the jump what type of dude this was. You already knew that it was a one night stand. You knew that there was not going to be in a relationship or any of those things. He didn't look at you as a prospective person that he wanted to get married to, have kids, and all that, grow old with, and everything like that. He told you that even in text messages, and then you turned around and knowing all of this, you had that child so you can quote unquote teach him a lesson. You didn't teach him nothing. Like you didn't teach, and this is what I'd be trying to, state or showcase when I say to a lot of people that you have women out here that will treat these kids as chess moves, as weapons, as a type of check. And this is proving that right there. Like I said, that's crazy to me. So you don't even really want the child. You don't even really care. It's just a bonus that you're getting money. But the only reason you care is because he told you that he didn't care about you. You asked him an honest question. He gave you an honest answer. You didn't like the answer. So you're like, I'm going to have this baby out of spite in order to teach you a lesson. Teach him what? To what? Teach you to love you? To actually care? That's going to hold even more resentment. But better yet, he don't even have to deal with that resentment. Because what he decided to do, he was like, yo, I done already told you all of these things. You didn't want to pay attention. Didn't want to see the signs. You wanted to believe that was more than what it was, and I didn't mislead you. No problem. We're going to sit up there and go to court. I'm going to hand you this $1 million for the full 18 years, and that's it. You're going to take this money, and that's all it's going to sit up there and be. So yeah, I guess you really taught him a lesson. You got 1 million out of what, that $240 million contract that he has, because that's realistically what it was about. As the young woman said, a lot of these women out here will be with these NBA players to secure a bag because they're not trying to make money any other way. They know the easiest way to get money is by allowing any of these dudes who got money to sit up there and get them pregnant. Why sit up there and go to college and educate yourself and work hard when all you have to sit up there and do is just lie down and oops, I'm pregnant. Now you're good for 18 years. And then all you got to do is just get 2 more guys. There you go. And then just off of that, you can start celebrity, because she stated in a video from her own mouth, she was like, I came into this situation with the status. Her status wasn't education. Her status wasn't being an entrepreneur or investing, knowing Forex or stocks or real estate. She was like, my status was because I got famous by getting pregnant by a very famous artist. That's a status? That's a stat. So if you walk into a room of billionaires and you state what your status is, they're supposed to do with that? How is that going to move any business? How is that going to move any weight? How is that going to really do any? It's like, what are we doing here? Like this is the severe social media delusion that we have at this moment in time, where you have women out here that think that status is coming directly from sleeping with and getting pregnant by rich celebrity men or NBA players. That's crazy. So you don't even want to build nothing for yourself. You don't even want to have anything for yourself. You don't want to be able to just come out to the world and be like, yo, you as a woman educated and did this and did that, and you afforded all of these things from hard work and dedication. Wow. This is silliness. This is just brother, this is just silly. But anyway, since we're on the same topic, we're about to keep this train rolling real quick. But we're going to hear the voice from a different perspective, right? Let's take a look.
Happy he didn't choose you. He chose the girl that strokes his ego the most, the girl who gentle parents him.
Or maybe, just maybe, he didn't choose you because you are the worst. You are rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate. I just don't know why we're at a point in society where like everything has to be the other person's problem. It's like, I can tell by watching this video, I can tell why he didn't choose you. It's very easy to see. Like, I've seen this happen IRL so many times. Like, some girl loses her man to like some girl and she's like, oh yeah, he just wanted someone who was easy. Like, no, maybe he just didn't want someone who was difficult. It's like some of you take pride in just being like the worst that you could possibly be. And it's like, oh man, I need a man who's strong, who can really like put up with this. Why should your man have to put up with you? Like, why shouldn't you just be someone who's enjoyable to be around? And it's like, for one, you're in a position for someone else to be chosen in the first place. I feel like we need to think about that for a second. Like, if you were really all that in a bag of chips, not only why did you lose, but why were you in a position to lose? Like, don't you think if maybe you were better, more desirable, in any sort of way, that things might have just like worked out for you? It's like the notion of men fumbling has done like irreparable damage to like the way accountability is taken on apps like this. Like, a few years ago, there were a few guys where they're like, oh man, you know, that situation I was in when I was like 19, yeah, definitely fumbled her, you know, because I was 19. They heard that and were like, oh wait, men fumble women, and they're translating that into situations they're with like completely just like grown men who just don't like them. And somehow it's just like, ooh, I was just like too good. Like, no, you weren't too good. He didn't like you because you're not likable. And this is why, like, bro, this stuff really, it blows my mind to see it. Like, it's so frustrating to see posts.
And the funniest thing is, I've stated this before, where you'll have women that'll go online, such as this example here, will go directly online, and she will portray herself to be the best thing that God ever created, and that in every single instance of a relationship, she did nothing wrong. It was always the guy. And I'm like, that's disingenuous. That's not how that works. Everybody has to be honest on the areas of failure or the areas of which that they need work on when it deals with the relationship. And you've had a lot of guys, as he stated, you've had guys who have honestly, either older or younger, they will reminisce and be like, you know what? There was a relationship here, and I sat up there and messed up in these 3 places, right? And that's those guys sitting up there just being honest. Nobody asked them to be honest, but that's them being honest, so that other guys out there will be like, you know what? That dude was actually honest about that situation. Let me learn from his mistakes so I don't happen to fall victim, right, to my own situation by way of making the same mistakes that he's explaining right now. So let me learn from another man and take that directly with me. But as always, whenever it is that men happen to admit some type of fault, somehow, some way, this is just branded on every single guy directly out there. And then fields of women will decide that, oh, yeah, see, this one example, this dude saying that he did XYZ, yeah, this is all men. And then they'll be like, this is every single relationship that I've ever been in. It's like every single guy is always messing up here, and I'm like, can we just just be balanced here? Can we just, kind of play this even here? Guys mess up, women mess up. Can we just do that? Like, this is, like he said before, if you're a woman and you are just great, you are beautiful, pleasant to be around, not difficult, you're not going to be ever in a position to lose said guy. Like, you're always going to be in that winning position, and you're going to be the only woman in that winning position when it deals with that guy. The moment in time that you happen to lose, hey, you got to sit up there and look at yourself, champ. Like I said, whenever there's a one-on-one type of thing going on, and it's a mano y mano, somebody's going to end up losing. In the moment in time that you end up being a person losing, you can't blame the crowd. You can't, blame past teachers. You can't blame your parents. You got to internally look at yourself, assess the situation, and figure out, where are my weaknesses? Where did I go wrong? Where are also my strengths? And how can I make my weaknesses at least more balanced? Or how can I grow those from those weaknesses, make those strengths? In a lot of instances, men try to figure these things out so that we can become better men each and every day. When it details situations on social media and women are talking to other women, you don't have that's not there. It's just like we're shifting the blame over to the men. The men are the problem. The men are the problem. The men are the problem. Oh man, it's crazy. It's diabolical work. Diabolical. But let's continue.
Requirements that you need to have in order to date me, a single mom of 3 kids. Number 1 is that you need to be making at least $130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles. If you cannot make $130K or more, then you are out of my fucking league. How do you expect to give me money for my kids if you only make $50K a year? Second is, I don't date men that are younger than me because, for obvious reasons. So if you are 26 and over, then you qualify. 26 to 35 is the age limit. Okay, I feel like 35 is pushing it because they look old as fuck already. So I'm 26, I'm a baby, so yeah. You have to have at least 3 cars
is a baby?
under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats because
hold on. Let me just roll that back. Let me just roll this delusion back real quick. Because I'm just going to use her for an example, because some people might happen to do some satire and whatnot online. That's cool, but there's too many real world examples of people actually being this stupid and nobody checks it. You said 26 is a baby. How are you a baby having babies, right? You're 26, but you got 3 kids. What are we talking about here? And then you're turning around and saying that you're not going to date men within the same age range, but you want an older guy to basically take care of you and your situation. And he has to basically afford you, right? So a guy that's working a standard issue job, he can't afford her. You got to be able to have your own properties. You got to be able to afford like 2 brother. Brother.
I have 3 kids. Oh, I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm going to bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So that's why I require you to have an SUV and a vehicle of your own if you're going to be dating me. Another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. Have to get a home that has 6 rooms, because each of my kids have to be in their own room. So you have to be considerate, purchase a house that has 6 rooms, because that's only common sense. Like, and if you cannot meet those requirements, then
wait, can I not do math? Hold on. She says she got 3 kids, right? So you got 3 kids, each one of them has their own room, and then you have the 2 adults in a relationship, both in one room. So that would be 4 rooms altogether, right? Let me just make sure I got my math right, right? So that's 4 rooms that are occupied. So then that would leave 2 rooms. What are the other 2 rooms for? What are, maybe my math might be incorrect. Maybe I might not know addition. But what would the other 2 rooms be for? If you and your partner are sleeping in the same room, you don't need an extra room. If the 3 kids each got their own room, again, that's 4 rooms altogether that are occupied. 3 kids got theirs, the parents got theirs. 4 rooms. Again, what are the 2 other rooms used for? Why would you need that extra space, which then would add up to more money, more utilities, more this and more? Like, that doesn't even make any type of sense. Like, what? The math ain't mathing right here. The math is the math. Like I said, I'm not the smartest, crayon in the box. But somebody, what? Huh? It's crazy.
you're not the fucking one. The last requirement is that it has to be pink. If it's not pink, no. Pink and brown go together. Pink and brown, like what? Duvalin, you know?
That's crazy. I can't even figure out the science for this. Let me tell you, I can't even figure. Matter of fact, because there was a video that actually matches in directly, because this is basically the theme right now. There was a video that I brought up before, and I do want to re-highlight that again, because I found it to be quite outlandish. And I'm like, how could you be incredibly so stupid and proud directly at the same time? Right. So let me, some of y'all, shout out to some of the people that saw the video that, I uploaded. I think around like 12, 2, 3. So somewhere around there in like the morning. Shout out to y'all who saw the video. I'm just gonna re-go over this video. Some of y'all might know the video that I'm talking about here. So let me just put that up because it matches with the theme.
Hi.
Kendra, you gotta stop doing this to me.
I gotta stop doing what to you? You call me.
The second time.
The second time what? Anytime you call me, why your eyes so big?
Cause I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Her eyes are big because she's stupid.
Come to TikTok.
That's what stupid looks like.
Okay, sorry. I'm not starstruck. I am a little bit. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. This kid is sweet.
You're so sweet. So where are you calling me from?
I am calling you from Kansas City.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
By how many men?
By 1.
You ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get divorced?
Because I wanted to be fast.
Are
you asked me questions. You want me to stop? You don't want me to tell you no lie, right?
So you divorced your husband because you wanted to be out here in these streets?
I did. Yep.
Well, how did that street life work for you?
It did not.
So let's just pause it right there. She has 3 kids. She was on a good track record. She got 3 kids by 1 guy. No problem. Gold star. You at least got some common sense there, right? And you were married to this dude for 19 years. He was good enough to be married to you for 19 years. She gave him 3 kids. It was all good. And then you said that you wanted a divorce because you wanted to be out in the streets. And I repeatedly ask myself continuously throughout the years, why is it again that women had a problem with what Kevin Samuels was saying? She destroyed a 19-year marriage because she wanted to sleep with other men. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? Like, what is this? That's insane. I've never in my life heard such and she's honest. The only thing I can't even give her credit anywhere because I'm not. Because she already checked out a while ago. Because I saw some people online sitting up there stating that, oh well, at least she went and got the divorce before she did X, Y. I'm not sure what she did because I'm just going to be honest. The way that she looks, the way that she's acting, the way that she's talking, how she's basically proud about it. I can't give any credit anywhere because somebody said that the moment in time that a woman checks out mentally, she's already gone. So she already knew what it is that she wanted to do. So she was already done. She was just waiting. She was just waiting for that option and the opportunity, and she did it. She destroyed that whole family because she wanted to sleep with other men. And she said that it wasn't worth it. Let's continue.
That's why I'm single.
So did you have an affair on your husband?
I did not. I wanted to.
So you got a divorce because you wanted to have sex with other men?
One particular man.
So she said, Kendra asked her, did you have an affair on your husband? She said no, but she wanted to. Exactly. She was already checked out. She was already checked out. She wanted to have an affair on a guy that she gave 3 kids to and was married to for 19 years. I bet you he was probably the safe guy. He was the nice guy, family oriented, probably a very decent husband and father. But to a lot of women, that reads as boring. So she wanted to go the unboring route. She wanted to see what her life would be like if she chose a different route. And here we are. She is now. I want everybody to remember these calculations. If a woman is married with kids, she is not a single mother. If a woman is divorced from a man and she's out here, she's a single mother. She is a single mother of 3 kids. And she caused herself to be a single mother. And now she wants other men to pick up the slack where you already had a guy doing everything that he was supposed to be doing. Because notice, she ain't bad mouthing the husband, the ex-husband. She ain't saying a word bad about that man. So that lets you know how badly she messed up, where she can't even give you one iota of a negative thing about this dude while being on this platform. That's some crazy work. Let's continue.
Okay, so when you got the divorce, did you and that man have sex?
I did.
And what happened after that?
It was horrible.
Did you try to get your ex-husband back?
No. I felt a little ratchet afterwards.
How long was you married for?
19 years.
So you divorced your husband of 19 years all because you wanted to have sex with another man?
Yeah.
Do you regret doing that?
Yeah.
So what would you tell to the ladies watching? What advice would you give them?
Don't leave your man, your husband. You can leave a man, but don't leave your husband.
So now with all that being said, what kind of man are you looking for?
I'm looking for a white man.
You know, at this moment in time, when I first heard that, I just wanted to log off. I wanted to. So to any of the white dudes out there, shout out to y'all. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. You got this. Hands are up to Jesus. Take the wheel. Every and any white man, you got this. You 100%. You got that and the kids. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. She got on here after destroying a relationship, a marriage, a good or at least a decent foundation because she wanted to spread her wings. She wanted to go for her own selfish benefit. And she was like, I'm looking for a white man. Brother. And you know who's going to be, you know who's going to be the blame for her seeking out a white man after she destroyed her own marriage? Let's continue.
White
Lisa,
men
are you being a comedian?
No, I'm being for real.
Okay, why do you want a white man? Why you want a white man now?
Because I think they're a little bit more in tune with a sensitive atmosphere.
So no black men, just white men only.
White men only.
What are your deal breakers?
Black men.
Somehow, some way. Now, I want to know. I just want to re-go over this, rehash this for a lot of people that are listening to me right now. At no point in time did she ever say anything negative. I'm guessing more than likely the ex-husband is a black man. At no point in time during this 3 or whatever minutes did she ever state anything negative about the ex-husband. She stated that she is the one that decided to, at one point in time during the marriage, she thought about having an affair, which is cheating directly on the significant other that she's married to, but she opted not to. But then once she saw the opportunity of somebody that she wanted to always sleep with show up on the scene, she was like, I want a divorce. And then when she got that divorce, she decided to sleep with that person. And then she immediately said that it wasn't really worth it because, it was bad. And now, after all of that took place, all of her not having no reflection, no real responsibility on the situation, she's like, you know what? My hands are up. I'm tired of black men. I'm going to white guys now. Because only white guys will be able to understand me, take care of me. They'll be able to handle me. I'm more, this is more sensitive situation, all this stuff. I got nothing for you. 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 I got nothing for you, brother. Brother, got nothing. And the craziest part is, I think I had somebody in a previous live stream before, or in my comment section, that tried to tell me that, or it might have been a comment I might have read off of X, but any which way it goes, a woman stated that it should have been actually under one of the videos that I gave to you guys recently from last week. Somebody wrote that when white men love black women, they really love them. And I'm like, you're going to write this underneath the story of which the black woman is no longer alive? Are you insane? Have you just lost all of your faculties at this moment? Like, let me,
Why don't you want to date black men ever again?
I don't, because it's just too much. Baby mama drama. Give me some more, T.
Girl, you a black woman who left her whole husband because you want to be out here in the streets with your vagina.
and I want to note that at a point in time, Kendra G was a individual that was heavily against Kevin Samuels and the way that he was speaking and everything like that. And then over time, you started seeing her implement that exact same thing, because she started then, once Kevin Samuels was gone in his platform, she started to run into the delusion. She started to really see like, yo, women out here are like straight delusional, like y'all crazy. Yeah, that's what the dude was saying. That's what he was saying. That there needs to be something out there. There needs to be a level base out there in order to put some accountability forward. Because I'm like, brother, I've tried to tell people before when it dealt with the stats of women being divorced in the United States, and I've stated like, yo, 70% of the divorces happen by way of women. This is with high school education. That then goes up to 80+% by way of women who have a college education. Women are the main ones that go after divorce, that seek these things out. She just sat up there and told you she got a divorce from her husband because she wanted to be with other guys. And now because that whole situation with a black guy fell out, I can't really give you anything about black men, but I'm for white guys now. You talking about baby mama drama? Ma'am, you're a mother of 3. You a baby mama. I'm not trying to, she's a divorce. No, she's a baby mama. She's ratchet. She is as hood as all get out. And even during the explanation of her doing things, she was laughing, trying to sit up there and act cute. She really thought she was like in her 20s or like 19. She really think that she's still that person. You're not. Ma'am, you're probably about like late 30s, 40s, 3 kids. Like, no, all of this trying to like act cute, use filters, all that. Like, nah, calm it down. You need to relax and live directly in reality. Like I said, social media got a lot of people messed up. Social media got a lot of people messed up. That's some crazy work, dog. That's just uh, he said, yeah, I'm not even sure what you're talking about there. Ali said, "Your kids are your kids. No man should have to pay for your kids." Oh, Ali's talking about the lady with the Latin woman. Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's 100% true. That is true. That is true. Like I said, it's crazy. We're gonna have a few more videos directly in there dealing with that. Matter of fact, yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to team all of those videos together, and then I'm going to give y'all the serious video at the end. That's what we're going to sit up there and do. That's what we're going to do. So let me make sure to pull that directly down. Let's go to the next one here. I love these compilation videos where people are out on the streets and they're asking people the honest opinion. And again, when people are inebriated, they will be the utmost honest, right? So let's take a look.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do you need a man? Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world? Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because we can be strong, independent women.
Do we need men?
Like, not necessarily, but like, if I can look at them, like, we need a man to look at.
Do we need men?
No!
No, why?
Nobody needs men!
Really?
We do not need men!
Why not? Why don't we need men?
Why would I need men?
So what can you get from someone else that you don't get from a man?
The only thing I can get from a man that I can't get anywhere else is dick.
Okay.
And I don't need dick.
Do we need women?
Yes.
We do. Why?
These women are awesome.
Do we need women?
Of course.
Why?
Yeah, you do need
Because they're beautiful.
Do we need women?
Women make us feel compassionate and affectionate.
Do we need women?
Of course we do.
Do we need women?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're hot.
And what else?
They're hot.
Do we need women?
I mean, unless they're gay.
Do we need women?
Do we need women?
Yeah.
So we heard it right. There's a clear cut difference. Now the last dude, the Asian dude, he was going to talk about somebody doing dishes, right? Again, you got some of these people that are being honest, other people that are drunk. Again, you have people that are being honest, and on a lot of instances, and this is the way of doing things being balanced, right? So you saw fields of quite a few examples of white women directly out there being asked the question, "Do we need men?" And all of them said no. All of them said no, knowing the fact that the things that they use every single day, how the cities and everything work, how they are able to go to and from directly in Ubers, the apps that they happen to use, and yada yada yada, electricity, whatnot, whatever. Yeah, that is because of the hard work and dedication of men. Even going by the sewer system and everything like that, no woman is going to decide. None of those women that you're able to see are going to decide to go into a sewage drain or whatnot or whatever and trying to clean that with pressurized water. They're not going to be out here trying to pressurize streets or anything like that. They're not going to be really trying to work for the sewage department, working for the garbage, anything that is considered undesirable work. They're not going to be in that field. But yet they're confidently stating that we don't need men and men are not needed. That's some diabolical work. That's just now on the other end, though, you were able to hear the men for a variety of reasons on why women are needed. Again, men are not delusional to sit up there and say that women aren't needed. It's like, yeah, just like the what was the one young guy that basically said, one young guy said that women are needed because they teach us, compassion and different things of that nature. Cool, no problem. Right, no problem. And that was a very great point that he sat up there and brought up. When they dealt with women, they ain't list nothing. They ain't say nothing about provisions. They ain't say nothing about protection. Nothing. They didn't, not one iota of anything positive about men at all. And I'm like, I'm like, did any of y'all have fathers? So y'all didn't have no grandfathers. Y'all didn't have no uncle. Y'all had never seen no positive dudes out here like legitimately just like doing something, some hard work, like nothing, no observations of anything positive. One of the girls was up there like, uh, I guess you need guys for sex, but she doesn't need that. And I'm like, so why list it? Like, why would you, if you know that? Because I'm going to just look into what she was stating. More than likely, she is a lesbian. She's interested in women. So if you know that that's the case, why even say anything about sex dealing with guys? Like that don't even. You could have just like said anything else. I'm like, that didn't make any sense. But also at the same time, of her more than likely being a lesbian or interested in women, you're still using a device that is modeled directly after men. It's not like you're using toys that are modeled directly after you. I just, just gonna put that directly after. Again, like I said, it's crazy out here in the streets. Completely crazy. Now, going into the aspect of people, doing and making decisions, as I've stated before, where people should make sure of the person that they are with. This video is going to fall directly in that. The part that got cut out was the woman hitting the guy afterwards. So again, people can say like skid or not, but this is a part of situations that have happened and situations that have turned very deadly because of all of the emotions that are directly involved. So let's look at that.
Hell, I just got here. What the? Oh my. Oh shit.
That's not my baby. How did you even get here? How you even know I'm here?
Shit.
Go ahead. How you even know I'm here?
Oh my god. Yo, they wild.
Go ahead. I don't know what you doing here, bro.
What you mean you don't know what I'm doing here? But when I ask you to come to my appointment, you don't come. Because you're here playing second. You come to my appointment and have pregnant. But when I ask you to come to my appointment, you're never showing up.
That's not my baby. That's not my baby.
Oh, so you here too? You here too, right? You here for the STD too, right? Why you in here? You heard me? What you lying for?
Oh my god. Oh my.
That's a baby.
That's not my baby.
That's not your baby. We married, but that's not your baby.
You don't want to go into
Yes. Oh my god. Oh wow. They're wild. Oh my god.
Don't touch me. That's a baby.
That's not my
That's a baby. Why you gonna do me like that? I want you and your mother out my house. You and your mother out. Out. Get out my house. People out. You fucking shit.
That's not my baby.
So we heard that great disturbance. So we got everybody directly in there. Obviously, somehow, some way, I guess the other girl that was with the woman screaming, I'm guessing that was either like her sister or best friend. Somehow, some way, they found out that he was at the courts or whatnot, maybe getting paternity. I'm not sure, maybe it was a doctor's appointment or whatnot or whatever, because we can clearly see the chairs and everything. Somehow, some way, they knew that he was there. She informed the other woman who was pregnant. They both rode down there, seeing the guy with another woman who is pregnant, and he denied quite a few times that, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. While at the same time, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who this woman is. While at the same time, how did y'all even find out that I was here? I'm like, which one is it? Do you know them or do you not know these people? And so yeah, this is why I happen to say that you need to get to know people before you decide that you want to lay down and have kids, because you don't really know who a person actually is. And if the best friend or the other woman, like I said, it's a difference if you relay the information to said person, that's cool. But you know that this woman is pregnant and you know that certain things could impact the baby, such as like situations like this, because now the woman's heart rate is going to be directly up. The baby is going to sit up there and react to that, on top of the chemicals that are more than likely getting released. All of that is going to impact the baby in, you know, a certain type of way, along with the mother. This was not the way I feel that a situation should have happened, because again, it's dangerous. You don't know what anything could happen. Both of the women who are pregnant could decide to fight each other. Again, a dangerous situation. People got to really think things out, especially when it deals with other lives involved that cannot fully defend themselves, you know, in the situation. Because there were other videos I showed you guys before where where a pregnant girl decided to confront somebody else and the other girls jumped the pregnant girl. They were sitting up there putting hands and feet and stumping her, dragging her out the car, all of that. So again, that's why I'm stating it the way that I'm sitting up there stating it. It's completely crazy. Everybody in this situation is completely goofy. 100%. Everybody in this situation is 1000% goofy. Like this, again, this makes no sense. It 100%, it literally, it makes no type of sense at all. Like, and this also goes to the other aspect, right? This one man got 2 women pregnant. So going back to the whole thing where people want to state that, oh, we got all of these black men running out here getting black women. No. It's a lot of women out here sharing the same guy and getting pregnant. AKA looking at this example here. AKA looking at this example here. So, you know, like I said, I really wish that a lot of people would pay attention to the actual situations, of which you got some guys out here having 7 kids with 7 different women, or getting one dude getting multiple women pregnant. Like, yeah, those dudes right there are the highest amounts if we're to deal with like fathers not being in the household, and those guys are the highest amount, which leads to quote unquote black women you know, being pregnant and, you know, fatherless homes and what. Yeah. You got the community guys directly out there just swinging from left to right, and obviously women out here don't got a defense for it. You know, usually when it deals with things, people say like learn how to defend yourself, but you know, when it comes to that, it's like people just lie down to take it, I guess. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know. It's crazy out here. It is diabolical. Diabolical. Let me see. What was the next one that? Yeah, okay. So I can get rid of that one. I think we are at. Wait. Let me just make sure, because I think I might have had another video here. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, actually, yeah, I got 2 more. I actually got 2 more videos that
see more
that
and more and more. Why?
within this as well. Hold on, let me just roll back, and I'll actually play. I'll let hers actually play, and then I'll put up the next one. That's what I'll do, right? So let me just look at this. She said, "Long Grant, did y'all see the story time of a lady who gave away her flowers, her Valentine's Day flowers, to her coworkers?" Right. So that's specifically what she's responding to, the video, I guess, that she saw on TikTok. So let's listen to her perspective.
I swear, I see more and more and more why women are single. Now, if you happy with being single, scroll on, get the fuck on. This ain't for you. But if you one of the ones out here talking about you looking for a man, you want to date with the intentions of marrying, and you out here moving foul and doing stupid and getting mad when you get called out for it, I see why you single. Please tell me y'all saw the story time of this lady talking about how her and this guy, I guess they getting a chance to know each other. So he thought he would send her some flowers for Valentine's Day up to her job, right? Tell me why she thought it was okay to take the flowers that he sent her for Valentine's Day to her job. She thought it was okay to take the flowers and hand them out to her female coworkers. He calls and asks, did you like the flowers? How was it? Asking all these questions. She goes on to say, oh, I gave them away to my coworkers. He become pissed. He's like, are you serious? Like, what are you doing? Like, as he should, right? She claims she ate what he had to say to her. I ate that. I mean, I understand it was my fault. So then they go out on a date, I guess later on that evening for Valentine's Day, and then he lit into her again, right? Now all of a sudden, here she come with the verse like talking about some, you don't yell at me, and you disrespecting me, and if I don't care about them flowers, and I'll buy you some flowers and let you give them away to how you want to give them away. You disrespecting me, I let you yell at me one time, and you ain't gonna yell at me again, all this crazy shit, right? Why is women in the comments agreeing with this stupid? You can tell that these are the miserable single women. Single women keep single women single. 1 minute you yelling out, I want to be wined and dined. I want a man that's going to take care of me. A man that's going to give me princess treatment. I want a man that I'm going to marry and all this, that, and the other. But then on the other hand, you out here doing stupid, still moving like you single. That's not your place to give out anything that was given to you. He had every right to lighten to you, and you should have just took that and ate that. I don't want to hear all that. You embarrassing me, and I already told you this, that, and the other. That's the problem. You cannot be corrected. You was wrong on every level. And it's crazy because those are the main women out here calling people pick-me's because a woman that got common sense clearly understands that's not how you move when you trying to be courted. That's not how you move when you talking about you dating with the intentions of being married. That's not how you move when you want a man that's going to wine and dine you and provide and protect for you. If you looking for something serious. Now, if you wasn't feeling him, that's one thing. If you don't like him, if you didn't want the flowers, that's one thing. Okay. But to give away a gift that he gave you, and then you went on to say nobody else received that on the job. I don't know if they got anything for Valentine's Day, but nobody else received flowers on the job. So I thought it was okay to give them a flower. Girl, stop. Be fucking for real. You too old to be moving like that. Grow up. Single women want to continue to see single women single. That's why it was so many of them in the comments saying, girl, please, it was just flowers. It is what it is. You know why? Because they ain't buying them flowers. That's just the truth. Ain't trying to court them, ain't trying to get a chance to know them. So they trauma bonded. A lot of this shit on the internet you see, it ain't number groups of people that's trying to find like-minded people like them to validate. They want to be validated for, you know why? Because in real life, they're losers. That's crazy. That wasn't cool. That story time was like, are you serious? Girl, please, you know good and goddamn well he wasn't wrong, you was wrong, and you did the reverse psychology because you didn't want to be held accountable talking about some, you not gonna yell at me. Well, you shouldn't have gave away the flowers. And you shouldn't have took the flowers, and you shouldn't have went on a date with him if you knew you wasn't feeling him. That's the beginning of your relationship if you want to be dated and courted and married and all this, that, and the other. What you gonna do, just be giving out flowers to just random that your husband, some shit your husband gave you? Girl, stop.
So let me just say, as a man that gives flowers, because I like flowers, right? And they have various arrangements. I'm more so of a person. I mean, it depends on, I would say, like the season when it deals with the arrangement. But usually, on most occasions, when I do happen to do that, I will go for multicolored roses, different cut lengths, and and things of that nature. And arrangements cost money. I think the most I've paid for flowers might have been about 120. I think 120, if not maybe a little bit more. So you make the order directly online for the different types of cuts, the roses in the arrangement, along with the vase, maybe the card, balloon, a bear, chocolate, stuff like that. And of course, you got the tax, and they'll deliver it to, let's say, the woman's workplace or whatnot or whatever. The amount of pissed that I would be if I spent $100+ directly on you and solely for you, and you sit up there and tell me that you wanted to give flowers to other women because they don't have a guy to give them flowers. That'll be the last time you ever get flowers. Let me just. I'm not about that, because let me explain it like this. Just imagine if a dude that's in a relationship spent $120 on flowers to give to his girl, and they're just out there walking about, and he's like, man, I'm noticing, a lot of these other women out here, they don't really got guys or nobody to appreciate or celebrate them. hold on, baby. Let me get about like 10 of these roses that I just bought for you, or maybe about like 15, and then I'm just gonna like hand these out to these other women out here because they decide they need to be celebrated. They need to feel like they are loved and appreciated as well. Do you understand how pissed a woman would be if a guy in a relationship decided to do that? They probably wouldn't be in a relationship. But when the shoe is on the other foot and she's doing it because she's a woman, hear me roar, and I'm stepping up and giving value and love to my sisters, the guy needs to understand she's in the right. Nah, but like I said, I'm not for this nonsense. I'm not for this nonsense. I know for a fact that women would sit up there and women would not be accepting of their guy giving any type of gift to another woman because they would figure that being the threat. It's like, oh, you giving them gifts? Like, so what is you trying to say? Like, am I not good enough? Are you trying to position other women? Are you trying to see what else is out? There's going to be a whole spiel. Trust me, there's a whole script written down for every situation. And that page is going to come up the moment of time is as a guy if you decide to do something crazy like that. That's crazy. But like I said, social media got a lot of people messed up. They feel that they can do no wrong. They feel like anything that they just may be doing it's just whatever, and people should sit up there and just suck it up and deal with it. And that'll be that. Again, the lack of accountability directly out there and how it is that things are uneven when it deals with people doing the exact same thing. It's crazy. It is crazy. Sham said that a lot of people just have no manners or etiquette. What happened to appreciating a gift and understanding that you don't give your gift away, that is given to you? I see a lot of selfishness in society. That's facts. Ash said these kinds of women are for some reason resentful to men. They just want a man around in order to abuse them. You later said that if a woman did this to me, I'd be thinking she's low-key trying to court her female coworkers. I mean, that could also be the case too. That could be the case as well too. That's a topic for a whole nother conversation because seemingly online it's not really much mention of women who are really more interested in women, but they're just with guys for whatever reason, which again, it doesn't make any sense. If you're actually more interested in women than guys, you need to just be with women. But but like I said, topic for another discussion. Leonard says she was saving lonely wolves. That's crazy. Sam said, I recommend men that if anyone is willing to do a gift, you give them like that. Please don't waste your time in that relationship. The testing, she's testing you on how much she can walk all over you. So that's a good perspective right there. Good perspective. So now let's go to the other instance, right? Because we got some women out here telling the truth. Let's go to another instance of a very educated woman telling the truth.
I'm still in college. I'm about to defend my dissertation literally on Monday, but I'm talking about this very issue. The uneducated Negro businessman, however, is actually at work doing the very thing which the miseducated Negro has been taught to believe cannot be done. This much handicapped Negro businessman could do better if he had some assistance, but our schools are turning out men who do as much to impede the progress of the Negro in business as they do to help him. The trouble that they do not think for themselves. If the highly educated Negro would forget most of the untried theories taught him in school, if he could see through the propaganda which has been instilled into his mind under the pretext of education, if he would fall in love with his own people and begin to sacrifice for their uplift, if the highly educated Negro would do these things, he could solve some of the problems now confronting the race. So y'all are saying, oh, our black men are making excuses. And it's really upsetting. And for the folks who are saying that people are not qualified to speak on this topic because they don't have statistics, they don't have control groups, they don't have this and they don't have that, those ways of doing research are completely a matter of exploitation and control, and to be able to justify the subjugation of the black race. That's what was happening. They were using their statistics and their research methodologies to prove that we were inferior intellectually, physically, and all these other types of things. That's what those things were used for. Also, I want to address that the nature of science is literally observation. It is what you see, what you hear, and I'm going to argue it is what you feel. That's what I do as a researcher. I'm literally defending my dissertation on Monday, talking about this very thing. I'm doing autoethnography, which is the story of my lived experience. Because y'all want to talk about these statistics, where do you think they get this information from? It comes from people. They're surveying people, people's stories, and they're not getting the full story. They're getting little survey responses of why black people aren't going to college. There's a larger story to tell, and it comes from our own lived experiences. So yes, black men, please keep sharing your videos. I want to see them. I haven't seen a lot of black men talking about it. All on my For You page is a whole bunch of people critiquing.
So you heard that, right? She read directly out of a book, and she's defending the point on why it is that you don't see a lot of black men in these colleges and doing this and doing. Again, you got other black men that are working within the community. They're performing their jobs in the community. Maybe they might be doing trade schools and again doing better for the community by way of starting up businesses of which can employ black men of different degrees, either the younger, the older, those that are in between that range, or maybe some of the guys who are nonviolent offenders, right? Who just need a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance on trying to get a leg up in society, because a lot of these corporations and these other jobs are not going to specifically hire them. And a lot of the instances of which we've been able to see online, when you have black people that are, again, I'm not saying all, I'm talking to that specific group that are out there and they're like the corporate, they're among like white people and all this other type of stuff. What are they normally doing? They're doing for self. They're not like, okay, I'm about to sit up there and do XYZ for the community. You're not about to see hundreds of thousands of them rolling up to the community trying to do this, that, and the third. Usually they're out there doing other things. We've also seen some of these people be supposed leaders, and they're taking from the black community or misleading the black community. Right? Like I said, I'm very appreciative of when it is that you have women like this that will pull up to the scene and they will speak up and they will actually say something, because 9 times out of 10 somebody like her would be called, let's say, like a pick me or something like that, because solely she's defending black men. She's defending a point that a lot of people want to say is a negative, and something that people want to say that contributes to the decline in the black community, because they're like, black women are the most educated, yada yada yada, and look at black men, what are they doing? They're not educated, they're not going to school, they're not doing nothing. So you got, on one angle, one side is being shown to be 100% productive, but on the other side, when it deals with black guys and people are like, well, they're not in college, then people are like, well, if they're not in college, then obviously they're not doing nothing. They're not contributing to society. They're not adding to the upliftment or the positive aspects when it deals with the family, the home, the community, the kids, the economy. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, because black dudes don't have to solely just go to college in order to be productive. I've known black men directly in my community who might not have had a college education, but I was able to learn things directly from them. Maybe it had to do with aspects of a man, aspects of controlling your emotions, aspects of raising kids, aspect of loving the family that you have right now, aspects of, at this point in time in your life as a teenager, this is what you need to do. Right? Aspects of, hey, let me teach you about a car. Let me teach you about a little bit of agriculture. Or, like I said, there's a lot of things that you can learn from people that you don't have to go to school for. And I feel like a lot of people happen to miss out on that, because we have a lot of educated people out here, but when it deals with like basic everyday things that people just do, a lot of people don't even know what that is. Like I've seen quite a few educated guys directly out there who are very socially awkward. I'm talking about like 2 left feet. And I'm not even talking about just from the aspect of them being able to talk to women, just talking in general, just even having a natural type of energy. It just seems odd. It just seems awkward. They just seem, in a sense, out of place. Because again, college, they don't really teach you how to be a human being. They don't teach you really how to act or react when it deals with the public or around other people. College can't teach you about those certain nuances and all these other types of things in conversations that you can only pick up, certain, let's say like social cues. You can only really pick those up by engaging with the public. You can't pick that up in school. Like even going away from college, we've seen this in high school. We will have some of the smartest people directly in high school, but they are just gone when it deals with social cues, when it deals with trying to court somebody, when it deals with just even like taking a joke or anything like that. Like I don't know. I feel like it's all over the place, and there's only so few women out here that will actually state positive things about black men and put those things directly out there. And again, she's one of them. She is one of the rare few that will decide to do that. And I'm pretty sure on her page, you have fields of women out there really trying to come directly against her. I can promise you that because I've seen it throughout the years. But now we're going to go to the aspect of dealing with the main story that people have been talking about for about a few days to maybe a week. But I'm going to give you an example on how situations dealing with white men or white men and black men or black boys and white boys can go to an extent that they don't need to go to with this example.
Very personal guy too.
Thank you,
I can
bro.
tell, like, he's talking to you right now, and you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're like, no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright,
So, like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Right, maybe.
Is it a little more to the right? See the TV at least.
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so a little more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe. Hey, could you just? Move, bro, please.
No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay, move,
I
but
don't mean to be a
no, but I know, but you had to talk to him like that, bro. No, I'm saying this my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. No, bro. You curse out of him and stuff, bro.
Hey, we're good.
All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move?
Hey,
This is respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. No, hey,
let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be a fucking No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the way the TV is my tailgate. I can
He didn't have to cuss at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
No, he just.
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
No, he just cussed at my bro, and I was like,
he said y'all get up. He asked you to get up.
God damn it.
Hey, what's the problem?
Is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child, and I was like, hey, bro, you don't disrespect everybody, you know? No, I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay.
For sure.
Good. Have a good day.
For sure.
No walk up doors.
I'm not walking towards him. I'm walking that way.
So I want y'all to understand, right? So you got two different groups. Let me just showcase this to you. You got two different groups of white folks directly out there, right? You got these simple white boys right here that's sitting up there just chilling there. They're talking to, I'm guessing this is the black guy's a content creator. They're just having a conversation about the content. It was like, yo, man, you're very personal. This, that, and third. What videos of your content do you think that we should watch, right? And then out of nowhere, you got this random white boy right about here that decides that he wants to, start having a certain type of tone with people talking to the cameraman. I'm like, yo, man, you can sit up there and move right to the whatever, to the side, right? Cussing directly after doing. I know nobody knows. Well, at least the black guy doesn't know, and the cameraman don't know who this dude is. Nobody was disrespectful to him or anything like that. So the tone and the words that he used didn't make any type of sense. And again, we're dealing with men here. It's all about your tone. It's how you happen to say things that matter the most. And again, he didn't come kind. He didn't do any of those things. So they had their brief, back and forth for a moment. And I want to note that the black dude was completely calm. Even though the disrespect was directly there, He understood the situation. He was still, calm. He was just trying to get the situation in order. He even asked, he was like, yo, just, he was trying to give that dude an out, right? Just to really get rid of the whole conversation. He asked the two white boys, he was like, yo, is this dude drunk? Like, let me know if that's what it is. And, it's cool. And the white boy in the blue, he was like, hey, man, I don't know, whatnot, whatever. Right. And even with that, he was like, all right, you know what? Let me just, maybe this dude is drunk. Maybe he had too much. We're at a tailgate and all this other type of stuff. I'll just sit up there and, let it slide. But the white dude with the beard kept talking. And then the black dude was like, I'm just going to keep responding since you're still talking. I'm going to explain it to you as calmly as possible. And I want people to understand this dude was calm. He was completely calm the whole time. Nowhere at any point in time did you hear him. He wasn't, clapping his hands together. He wasn't taking nothing off. He wasn't positioning himself as if he was about to sucker punch him or fight or anything like that or get ready to. None of that was happening. The dude was completely calm. Completely calm. But we saw what happened a little bit later, right? That grown man decided that he wanted to say whatever it is that he wanted to state. You see these two guys here, right? The older white guys, right? To the right side of the screen. So the two are still talking on the left, right? Everybody now is starting to pack up their stuff. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird. Why would you pack up anything when the whole situation is basically, it's in a sense, it's calm. Nobody's talking, no type of violence, no type of gun talk, nothing, right? But now they just want to sit up there and get up and they want to start running as if somebody got a gun and they're in fear of their lives, right? So they start packing up everything, folding up the chairs, right? Remember, two guys directly to the right of the screen. So then after that, they're still sitting up there talking. They're standing now because obviously they're packing up the stuff. So the guy was like, all right, y'all packing up, no problem. Let me get up. You can take your chair, fold it up, whatnot, whatever. So the moment of time that they're still talking, those two older guys, you see the dude in the pink get directly into the dude's face, like, yo, what are you doing? Back up. Who are you talking to? Like this is now where situations can start going from, good to bad to worse. Because there was no reason for you as a grown-ass man to decide to interject into a conversation of which was realistically calm. So you're trying to talk to this dude as if he's a child by telling him, what are you doing? Back up. Are you a cop? Like what specifically are we doing here? And then the black guy, he was like, you know what? Let me just skip that to the side. Like, yo, just let me know. I'm going to tell you what the situation is, what the problem was, all this other type of stuff. And then immediately he tried to body block. He was like, well, he came over and he just simply asked you to move. No, that's not what he did. Let's not try to, sit up there and play semantics. Let's not try to play those games by you trying to cover up the type of aggression and attitude that's there. And then he was like, you know what? Just let me know if he's drunk or not, all this other type of stuff. And then, it's cool. It basically is, what it is. They technically gave an indecisive type of answer, like a 50-50 type of thing. Again, for whatever reason, you ask white people something directly and they can't specifically answer. Makes no type of sense at all. So then after that, the white dude and again, nobody was touching the black dude at all. White dude comes over there. He was like, hey, buddy, taps him on the shoulder like 3 times, like, hey, it's done. Dog, don't be touching. Like, again, this is how stuff goes work. Don't put hands on another white people. I need you to understand this. Just because you see somebody black there, that don't mean that you decide that you want to put hands directly on somebody. Don't be touching nobody. Don't be touching nobody. Don't put your hands on nobody. Because there have been too many instances where black people have seen somebody decide that they want to put hands on somebody to do a slight distraction. And then said person that did that slight distraction wants to do something else, like sucker punch them, this, that, and the third. Don't keep your hands directly to yourself. Keep your hands to your side. Nobody touched you. Don't touch nobody else. I don't even care if you meant it in a friendly gesture. Don't touch nobody. Stop doing that. Nobody out here is your slave. We're not living back in the 60s, 50s, 40s, the 1900s, the 1800s. Stop doing that. And again, you're an older white man. Stop doing that. And then when the black guy was walking away, right, he was exiting stage left, right? Slowly exiting stage left. And then let me just pull it back so this can play real quick.
Appreciate it. Good. Have a good day.
Sure.
No walk up.
I'm not walking towards him.
And then you decide to turn after you're still packing your stuff. The black dude is leaving. Somebody says something to him. He looks up and was about to make a response because he stopped. You're talking about don't go over there and walk toward. What are you talking? Like I said, this is why I be talking about with white people. making stuff worse. Sometimes y'all need to just shut up. This dude was as calm as pot. He wasn't on nothing ignorant. He wasn't on nothing street. And it was like all it takes is for 1 to 2 white dudes to sit up there and make things worse. If this was like an ignorant dude who's already been in, I promise you, he would have flipped that whole tent upside down. If you had a black dude that was about that life, that was about that street game, he would have flipped that tent by himself upside down. Like the dude ain't trying to fight him. The dude ain't even trying to do nothing to him, because if he wanted to, he could have already did that, because they were earlier. They were within the space of like 2 feet from one another. He could have easily just like struck him real quick. He would have been out. But you're continuously trying to direct and have a certain type of aggressive or passive aggressive energy directly. Come on, dog. You're trying to make it seem like he's the real problem. He ain't the problem. But like I said, we're dealing with a tent situation and we're dealing with seating. So just in case people don't know what I'm talking about, now we're about to go to the story.
About this story regarding Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf down there in Frisco, Texas. Austin got unalived. A lot of people are trying to make it a race issue, and it's not. It has nothing to do with that right there. But a lot of people are attacking this young man and are showing the negative side and everything. But I want you to see him in his positive side, because this was self-defense. The story that's being told, Carmelo, he was sitting up under a tent, under the wrong tent and everything. That's what they said, under the wrong tent. And Austin came over there, told him to move. Said Carmelo got aggressive with him and everything, and then with a knife in the heart and everything, and he passed away. That's not the full story. First off, Carmelo had permission from another coach to go over there and set up under that tent. He had permission. Another thing that was said and been spread out far and wide is that they didn't know each other. That's a lie, because they definitely knew each other. This is older Melo. His girlfriend, actually, Carmelo's girlfriend, he was harassing her at a party that was about maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. Carmelo took up for his girlfriend. Then all of a sudden the fight broke out. Austin broke Carmelo's phone just the day before this incident took place. So the day of this incident, Austin confronted Carmelo for sitting up under the tent in the wrong area. They got into an argument. Carmelo's backpack was grabbed, and then he was called the N-word. And then Austin tried to grab him forcibly. He tried to forcibly move him. And it wasn't Austin by himself. Both of them got up there and attacked Carmelo. Both of them did. And there were a lot of witnesses down there that said that the twins, plural, tried to jump him. Well, actually, they did jump him. They stomped on him, and they broke his phone, and they tried to take his things. So nothing peaceful was about that whole thing. And something else is going to come out. This is allegedly. Something else is going to come out. He had narcotics in his system. He did. Austin, he had narcotics in his system. That's what caused him to be overly aggressive. So just like I said over on the book face over there, that was self-defense. That's what he did. He did self-defense. Everybody's coming for him. People trying to make this out of
I want to give a shout out to the white people.
Self-defense.
I want to give a shout out to, because I got to do a nice little separation here, because this story has shown a variety of things if people don't want to pay attention. So Fields, I'm talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands of white people have showed up online, and they were like, this, that, and the third, all this other type of stuff. They really try to position as if they are, for, the kid that's no longer here, right? And they wanted to say that this had to do with race and all this other type of stuff. The father, who still has one of his sons still here, he was like, this has nothing to do with race. So to the groups out there that are trying to position this as if it has something to do with race, and you're trying to speak for me or my family or my son, please stop. This had nothing to do with race at all. Stop trying to put your spin directly on it in order to sell what it is that you're trying to sell. You know what those same white people decided to do once the father came out and said that? Instead of going after and continuously talking about the black student there, they now went after the father. White people got so mad, so angry, that a white man told them, do not use my child, do not use this situation as a race baiting event in order to substantiate a platform of hatred on why it is that you dislike or hate black people. Don't use this situation as that, because it had nothing to do with race. And the more than likely, the reason that the father is saying that is because he know more about the situation, because he more than likely talked to his son. And his son more than likely admitted some things that the son didn't want to admit when it dealt with mainstream media. So this is why that father is sitting up there stating that, I forgive him. I feel sorry for him and the family and everything like that. And yada, 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 because the forgiveness came real quick and real easy. And that seems like somebody who knows a little bit more than what is being stated out there in the media. Seems like a person that knows way more than what his other son has been stating again to the media. Seems very interesting. Because the interesting part about this, the only other person that's also alive that knows about the events is the young black kid there. And it's amazing to me how usually out of all of the times we would be able to hear audio or video of something happening, or somebody would go try to do an interview real quick, or something would be released. We have nothing. There's no type of confession. There's no type of words. There's no type of things. Well, police sat up there and talked to him and XYZ and dot, dot, dot. Huh. I'm like, wait a minute. It's crazy how the optics of this are skewed to the point where it's like, yeah, this black kid here, he was just violent. He just decided to carry a knife. He did this, he did that, yada, 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 all this other type of stuff. And he just simply over a seat, he just stabbed this kid. That's it. Now, I do want to make note and remind people that I gave a first reaction directly to this. And my main first reaction that I gave is this. I simply said that this is a very ignorant and stupid situation. If everything that was stated happened the way that it happened, which is this is how they try to, portray it online. It was like, hey, it was basically over a seat, as if it was assigned seats, and the person asked the other person to move nicely, and the black kid didn't really like that, and he decided to basically just pull out a knife, stab, and just run off. That's how people positioned and reported the story directly online. So again, I gave my initial first reaction directly off of that, and I simply stated that this situation has nothing to do with race, and it's vastly different versus situations where somebody white did something to somebody black, right? Because we also got historical context directly within that. And I also stated that if it happened the way that people are saying, then guess what? The person who did it, they got caught like that, lickety split. There was no delay. There was no time. There was no search. There was no weekend, weekday, 4-month search. The killer is there was none of that. Instantly, basically caught. Going to sit up there and get prosecuted. Probably sit up there and get life, which means that the family instantly actually got justice for what it was that took place. Right? But when you flip it and you look at when this happens to black people and it deals with race, notice what normally takes place, right? Like when it's the police and it's normally somebody white, guess what? We got to do this long drawn out thing. We got to figure out who's going to be on the trial, who's not going to be on the trial. You got to figure out who the judge is, who the prosecutor, who the defense is going to be. It's this whole spectacle that they do. They take fields of time. They be taking weeks and months and all this. They be really laying it on thick, and they will really try to stretch it out so that they can make as much money on mainstream media as they can make from this story. When really it should be an open and shut case. Like I said, it's a world of a difference when it deals with this, when something is dealing with race versus something that is not dealing with race. And again, this is a situation that is not dealing with race. Now, it quote unquote deals with race because now that's what people want to see. Those are the optics that people want to specifically touch on, because it's funny how a lot of these white people out here, and again, a lot of the white people who came after the father, these are the same ones on social media. Oh, we don't see race, right? A lot of these people are Republicans. White Republicans, we don't see race. We don't see color. We see everybody as everybody. We judge people by their individual character and da da da. But now when it deals with this story, now everybody can realize that the kid to the left is black, and that the kid who is no longer here is white. Oh, color me surprised. You guys can see color. Look at that. That's diabolical work. And then on top of that, they wanted to have these screenshots directly up there where it they wanted to crop the photo in order to give the whole thing of like, oh, look at how he is. Look at him holding this weapon. Look at him hold this gun with the banana clip. Look at this. This is crazy. This is these blacks, right? But then when you look at the whole picture, I'm like, this looks like more than likely a prop or a toy gun, because he's up there with some white kids. And they're all posing as if this is some type of like Halloween or a party or whatnot or whatever. So I'm like, it's crazy how they run so quick to chase down certain optics in order to criminalize the image. Because if we're to actually look at this, right, if there was, even before, like, I'm not sure how they're going to do the courts or whatnot, because it's going to be looking crazy. If we're to look at the optics, when it deals with the public, he's already been tried. White people are like, he's guilty. White people all across the world, he's guilty. This is crazy. Something needs to be done. Who was that one dude that white Hispanic Fluentes? He sat up there and even on his platform talking about black people like he always does. Like he always does. Like I said, a lot of these people, they got a certain type of selling point in order to have a platform. They're not going to make money if they're specifically talking about their own group or their own people. Impossible. Not going to sit up there and do it. Not going to be profitable. Not going to sit up there and make it. So you have to throw other things directly in there in order to keep it afloat, in order to have it popular, in order to have, these people, sponsor and all this other stuff. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. It's crazy work how quickly, and it also shows me that obviously all lives don't matter, because all of these white people that are angry at this father, they're not caring about a grieving father that literally just lost his son. You're literally angry about or towards this man, wishing all types of harm and everything to happen to him online because he doesn't agree with your narrative. So much for White Lives Matter. So much for actually caring about your own people. How quickly white people are ready to turn on each other when somebody just disagrees on one thing. Never seen it before in my life. Diabolical work. Oh yeah, Mo said that. Yeah, I seen that picture. Both of the twins have access to weapons. They were in like their hunting, camouflage, holding up guns, and somebody wanted to try to make a difference of picture. They wanted to zoom in on the black kid. They were like, oh, but notice the finger positioning. Notice the type of control that one lacks and the other one doesn't. The black kid's finger is on the trigger. The white kid is. Look at the gun control. Look at how his finger is not on the trigger. Yeah, but when y'all turn into cops, what happens? Your hand is always on your gun. Amazing. But you're supposed to be well trained. You're not supposed to be really in fear like that. You're supposed to be able to handle your emotions. But, this is America. It's crazy. What needs to happen right now is that a lot of the people who are witnesses dealing with this need to come out and actually speak. They need to come out and speak before they are, thrown into this whole thing of threats and fear. Because I promise you that you have adults, grown adults who are white, going online and trying to find, because they were at a track meet, they're trying to find a lot of these kids who are there. They're trying to send them threats. They're trying to send them messages anonymously and trying to tell them to shut up and you better not say nothing, or XYZ is going to. I promise you, this is happening right now. And I promise you, a lot of those kids, their parents are telling them, don't say nothing. Ain't that something? This should be the moment in time, because we have a narrative, a very specific narrative that is out here. They're stating that the black student is violent, basically, aka all blacks are violent, and that whenever there's somebody white in the area, in the vicinity, this is how blacks tend to act, or this is how blacks always. That's the way that they want to position it. Because, like I said, I just want to put this directly out there, and I'm going to say this again. When they don't have anything to go directly off of, now they have to look at themselves. Now they have to fight themselves. Now they got to argue with themselves. So in order to not have that collapse happen, in order to not have those situations happen, they have to put something directly in the mix to have a distraction. I literally just said this. I said this, what, about like a month ago? Close to a month ago, the tail end of last month. I literally said this. In order to distract white people, throw somebody black in there. Throw a black situation in there. There you go. But you saw, even when somebody black was thrown into the situation, when two white people have a disagreement, look at the fallout. Look at how white people will start to tear and go at one another. Look at how they'll start to be disrespecting one another, devalue one another, start wishing harm on one another. Crazy work. Crazy work. Like I said, the dad is I put it to you like this. along with the black student, the dad is one of the innocent people here, right? Because this is a situation, blindsided, a situation that just inevitably happened. He ended up losing a son, right? So if he is innocent directly in here, talking about the father, white people, why are you coming at your own people? Why are you coming after him like he actually did something directly? You're treating him as if he's the black student. That's crazy work. That's crazy. And like I said, the interesting thing that I love about the internet is that sooner or later, more times sooner rather than later, the points that you make when it deals with the society, when it deals with America, when it deals with race relations, you will be able to prove certain things. So again, I brought you a video about the protest. Notice how there was no police, there were no huge SUVs, no government, no this, no that, no blockades. There was none of that basically going on and happening. Almost it was the same similarities as January 6th, right? Same exact thing. There was no real police, no real barricades and all, right? Things just happened. They just allow people to go as nut crazy as they wanted to sit up there and do. But in comparison, when you look at black protest and the positive protest that we've had, what do you always see? You see the police. You see smoke grenades, grenade launchers, throwing out concussions and all this other type of stuff. You see almost like a police military directly out there going at the black protesters. Like I said, there is a complete cut and dry difference on how America perceives and deems and looks at black people versus white Americans. Like I said, can't nobody tell me no different. Can't nobody tell me no different. Some crazy work. 100%. Like I said, I just so also happen to love the fact that when you can prove a point, you have trolls pull up to the scene. Like I said, I love it. 100%. I 100% love it. It's a very beautiful thing. It further again proves the point that I've stated and what it is that many other black people have stated. That you guys are very much bored without us. Without us, you don't have entertainment because you don't know how to actually be entertained just by your lonesome. You don't even know what to do with yourselves. So because you look for and need attention to feed directly off of that, you're going to go to the main people that can highlight something, which are black people, because you love attention, and black people give the most attention out of every other group directly out here on this planet, bar none. Nobody else can compare. So again, this goes into the other aspect of why it is that a lot of people want to talk about black people online. They want to troll, they want to say this, they want to say that, they want to make videos. Again, they can make videos about anybody else, but solely and specifically, you see a lot of people making videos about black Americans. And this is why. It's crazy. Crazy. Oh yeah, D Money. I showed that off in videos too. I showed off the random pile of bricks. I showed off this group of white folks that was in a car. It was like some type of hoopty rolling through the side of the street, and they just magically had bricks in their car, and they was trying to hand it to black people, and they were like, "Yo, what is you doing? Like, why do you even got bricks? Why you even trying to give us a brick?" I'm like, "What is?" Like I said, you got all these ops directly out there. But these are things that white people, they want to ignore. They don't want to pay attention to. They want to say, "Oh, it's conspiracy. You think somebody's trying to plot and after?" No, because y'all are. Why would you, as a group of white people, be rolling down the street, ready with bricks in your car to hand to some random black people? What? Like that don't even make any sense. That's like sitting up there saying in reverse, you got a group of black guys going through the suburbs and they just handing out, random rifles, random guns and ammunition to some white kids on the street. Since when? When has that ever happened? Like when realistically has that ever happened? Just to be real. Like I said, crazy work. Um Somebody said, I would say that the system prefers protest and protests are meaningless. What would be more meaningful is organizations into political organizations and parties working for Black power. This is the thing that people tend to not understand. I get what it is that you're saying for Georgia Sweet. Black people are protesting in other ways than just going out. We decided to sit out for this protest, and we're also protesting with our dollars. So not only are we making sure that we're not there and they can't siphon and use our energy, we're also making sure that we're not putting our money into a lot of their businesses like we would normally sit up there and do. So we're protesting on two different fronts. Now I can't say the same for everybody else, for the thousands on thousands of Americans that are protesting right now, because white people are going to, they can protest, but they're still going to continue to buy from white stores and all this other type of stuff, right? If white people actually want us to do a protest, they could both protest on the streets and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. In order to show you that we really mean business, we're going to start moving all of this money that we normally spend with you guys amongst ourselves. We're going to start sitting up there buying from Black businesses, Black markets, Black online retailers. We're going to start sitting up there doing that, since they seemingly have the same, types of things that you sell directly in the store. We're going to buy directly from them. Right. But again, white people's protests are only going to move so far. Right. It's only going to move to a certain extent, because they'll do enough, but they're not going to do so much as to quote unquote, hurt themselves significantly. And again, that's what you were able to also see with the election. Shout out to the white women that voted. Shout out to y'all. Hack said, in the mind of the rabbit supremacist, no matter what, a Black man has to be a villain. Yeah, that's bars. Sam said they didn't have cops dressed in hoodies and black busting out windows of business. Yeah, that's the other thing too, and I showcased that, where during some of the protests during that time, you literally had these undercover agents knocking out the windows of businesses, and the dude was white, amongst white protesters. And once everybody stopped and called him out, this dude dropped whatever he had, and then he started trying to like run off because people were recording him. And I'm like, no. You said you about this life. You said that you're not a cop. Stay right there. Stay right there. Let people actually unmask and see who it is that you are. But obviously, like I said before, a lot of these people out there amongst these protests, they are cops trying to cause chaos and trying to cause things to happen. D Money was like, shout out to Lyndon B. Johnson. That's facts. That's 100% facts. Shout out to Lyndon B. Johnson. Hack was like, YouTube loves interrupting your stream with stupid ads. Hey, shout out to YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Sham said, white people are not able to emotionally or mentally prepare to deal with the level of hardship it takes to move the world that they want. Yeah. Ralph said, yes, I don't go to anything Republican like that Trump is invested in, like McDonald's, Tesla, Koch, Benzo, Starbucks, Belleros, I don't even know what that is, and etc. Don't buy from Walmart or Target. That guy said they can't label the white protester as domestic terrorists or label them as others. Can't sick the police on them either. Yeah, like I said, they're not going to do all of the things that they would normally do with Black people. Like I said, where's Fox News to talk about some of the incidences, the two incidences that I was able to bring up? Because let it be a Black protest, and just like I showed off those two incidences, they'll show off two incidences as well, but they'll try to portray it as that's like 100% of the protest out there when it deals with Black people. I'm like, and people, like I said, people want to believe the stuff that they want to believe. Whatever people need in order to sleep at night, that's what people are going to use and take in order to sleep. It's crazy work. D Money was like, yo, they pop up at the worst time. Yo, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy. Let me see, do I got another video that I might want to go over? Let me see something. Okay, we already did that one. Got the young kid directly out there, showed off the protesters. Oh, let me just showcase this one. This one is a little bit different. I'm going to make sure that I got to try to mute it. Okay, so on a lighter note, this one in a sense has to do with like Usher and the concert that he has. Inevitably, what happened supposedly, from one of the threads that I was able to see, is that the woman that you see here is married, and I guess the husband saw the reaction and everything that she was doing, and he felt that it was very disrespectful, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm just going to file for divorce." And I'm like, "It be like that." You had people online that was trying to state that it's really not that serious, but for a lot of guys, when they happen to see how women will react with other guys, and they're like, "Yo, I'm married to you, and I've never seen you act this way with me. I've never seen you actually like I pay bills, I do this, I do that, and I've never seen you have the same eyes or lust for me like you have as you do for this other guy. Like the same, like look at her just body reaction, like it's crazy work." And I'm like, it be like that. It be directly like that. And then somebody in the comment section was like, "I don't know why y'all acting like men wouldn't be acting the exact same." No, no. You got a lot of dudes that's around, women every single day, and they're not acting anything close to what you see at like a Usher concert. It's like it's just not will be sitting up there happen. Like some women be just looking like they just like lost their minds. Like I said, I get it. Women live in a fantasy of which this is realistically the guy technically they actually want to be with. But when they go home, it's like, well, this is what I got. And the dude was like, well, obviously my work here is done. Obviously I'm not needed here anymore. Usher, you got it, brother. Glory to the winner. And she's out there. Crazy work. That's his like I said, if this is supposedly a church woman, anything that she was feeling at that time was not the spirit. When you look directly at her eyes as she's looking directly at Usher, that was more than a spirit. And I promise you, I can bet money that the looks and the actions, that the husband has never gotten anything, not even 1% of closeness. And it'd be like that. It'd be like that. But like I said, Usher out here winning, man. Man, it's like I said, Usher can get probably any woman directly out here. She could be in a relationship. She could be married. It'd be like that. Only thing I can just say is that hopefully guys could find a woman that can give them that same type of look. Chances are it's just not going to happen, or it'll be very, very rare. Because the way that a lot of women look at celebrity men, you're not going to get that. It's just not going to happen. It'll be a wishful thinking. Even guys who are like billionaires, guys that got hundreds of millions of dollars, are not getting these looks. And those are dudes that can literally buy the world, like an Elon Musk or whatnot. Again, you ain't never seen any woman with Elon looking at Elon like this woman is looking at Usher. Never. Jeff Bezos. Never. Bill Gates. Never. So anybody that's part of those 12 families, never happened. Like I said, glory to the winner. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. But yep. Let me see. Do I got one more? Do I potentially got one on the way? Let me see. Let me potentially see something. Let me see. I think that was a Nick Fuentes thing right there. What was this one? Oh yeah. Okay, this is okay. This is. I'll make this one the last one. So, as I've stated before, it's mildly questionable stuff directly out here. So let's just take.
I'm dating Ladyboy, and I don't think I'm gay. I'm attracted to Chini. She looks like a woman. She's very beautiful. She's very feminine. How does it make me gay? How about? That's a good question. I feel like in 2025 there are two types of women. There is women with a and women with a
same skin,
and it's the same dish It's just different form of the same thing.
Woman, different level.
She's definitely a woman to me, and that's how I see her. It's part of you, and I love you, and I love every part of you.
And you know what? You don't need to answer anyone. People just curious because they're jealous.
So this guy, he clearly said that he's not gay at all. Hey, 2025, I'm not judging. It is what it is. But for any of those white trolls that like to come through to my channel, you want to throw up the N word and do a lot of things. This is you. This is you fully unmasked, being your pure self, flying directly over there to Bangkok and going over there to Thailand. These are the real women that you like to seek out. So like I said, there's a difference in between the types of men that you are and the type of man that I am. It's a clear-cut difference. But like I said, I'm not judging. If he likes it, love it, it's cool. Go over there and do you. But again, for a lot of you white guys out there, this is you in the cut out there. You just flying free. And if only you guys could actually be more open like this European man. If only you can be more open with yourselves, maybe you wouldn't have as much hatred as you do when it deals with black men in the United States. Just maybe. Just maybe. But anyways, that is that is it. Sam was like, OMG, sir, you're gay, just admit it. Ali was like, yes, you are gay if he has that and it's on a guy. McFly said he sees a woman and not that. Yeah. Rabbit said these are the kinds of white men that black men had to deal with during slavery. Hey, yeah, there's a lot of books written on that too, but white people don't want to, admit those things. They want to sweep that under the rug. Wilson said, reminds me of Hangover 2, where they were in Bangkok. Yep. Leonard laughing. Hack said, this is why it's called Bangkok and not, well, I can't say that one because, YouTube. D Money said, I'm not going to kink shame, but sir, I'm so confused right now. Yeah, I'm just trust me. When I first saw the video, like I said, it's crazy. Again, these are, like McFly said, these are the original passport bros. This is where they were going from America, from Europe. This is where they were going directly over to, and that's who they were messing with. But still returning back to America and Europe to posture as if they are the men that everybody believes them to be. And trust me, some of your judges, I'm talking about the United States, some of your judges, your lawyers, the hardest cops directly out here, the COs and all of these other dudes in government, white guys, this is where they go, and this is who they seek out when they tend to travel. But those are the guys in power. So that also makes more sense why certain things are also allowed in this country, and why certain individuals are least protected versus others. Right. But anyways, that's it. That was pretty much the live stream. Shout out to any and everybody that pulled up to this live stream. We actually held a pretty consistent amount of people during this live. Shout out to anybody who came through to donate to the platform. We had about a good 1,000 people, if I am correct. Let me see if I go to the actual analytics before I roll up off here. Let me see. And also, we will probably at a point in time have another game stream as well at a certain point, because Mo was sitting up there talking quite a bit of mess on Call of Duty, and I ain't never seen this dude on the system at all. It's all cool though. But yeah, we had a nice 1,000 directly out there that came through, which is pretty dope. Held a nice viewer point above 60. We was at about 102 for about like 30 minutes. 91 right now, which is pretty dope. So again, much love, respect, and appreciate. Wait, Shan was like, "Why we ending on this?" Hey, gotta end on. I guess you could say a lighter note. Somebody being free directly out there, got to do it. Shout out to the true white American men, Europeans directly out there. this is you. But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation. Love you guys a lot. Thank you for being here during this live stream. And of course, we'll have shorter videos up there for you. And I'll catch you in the next live stream. Peace out.